You know, Gen Z gets a lot of flack from a lot of places. I think that's just the way of being it is when you're the young and up and comer.
I very much agree. I think that's from Bye Bye Birdie. The kids, what's the matter with kids today, applies across generations.
It's generational. It always happens.
Yeah.
The old people always think the young people don't know what they're talking about.
That musical came out
Sometimes
years
it's because
ago.
they don't. We should define for everybody, by the way, what Gen Z is, because it is those born between 1997 and 2013. But for the purposes of what we're about to be talking about, we're basically talking about college age and mid to early 20s is the group we're looking at.
Those entering or who have just kind of started out those first steps in the workforce.
Because apparently they're not great on the phone. And I'm going to defend them a bunch in a minute, but not on this specific topic. Leah, you want to add to this?
Yeah, this one's rough. Apparently, there's a small percentage of Gen Zers who, when called by their boss or a coworker, they pick up the phone, but they don't actually say anything on the other end. They just pick up. And so
no hello,
no hello,
hey,
no
what's
hi,
going on?
no hey, you've got Brandon, what can I do for you? You know, just nothing, just pick up. And I feel like that would be so weird to me.
So here's the thing, because again, I'm going to defend Gen Z here in just a second. That is horrible. You got to do better, guys. You got to do better. You've got to answer the phone. You got to be engaging, especially if it's in a workplace scenario.
Yes.
You know, you're representing not only yourself, but the company. Be better.
And I get it. I mean, I get the phone anxiety too. I placed a phone call for food recently. That was a big step for me. Did everything right. So I get it. But you gotta at least say hello when you pick up the phone so that people know that you have connected.
And while you should know how to say hello, that should be innate. When it comes to a lot of the other complaints that people have about Gen Z, now I'm on your side. Now I'm defending you. Now I'm coming to your aid, much like Gondor, because because it turns out companies aren't training people anymore, or not nearly enough. And this stems a little bit from a few different things. It's part of the pandemic-driven upheaval that never really got back to normal. There was a lot of brain drain from a lot of different companies, and nobody that had all the information then filled in behind that. But there's also a more insidious thing. So listen to this. Most companies want employees to hit the ground running and use AI apps and training videos to avoid disrupting another employee's flow for the lack of staff to train somebody new or help learn a new skill. And the reason for that, I know you're not going to believe it, this is all money driven.
What?
There's been a long-standing decay of investment in learning and training by employers as part of an effort to create leaner, cheaper organizations.
It just feels so dystopian to me. I'm picturing a group of employees, at their desk trying to crank out as much work as possible. And the fact that you can't be disrupted to train somebody new at doing their job because you have to produce as much as you possibly can. So here, train yourself. It's bad for everybody.
It's bad for everybody. And I do think it's interesting because, again, we hear these conversations all the time. This generation doesn't want to do that. They don't want to do this. I don't have that experience.
No.
And I think that a big reason why is here at Draper Media, we do a great job with the training portion of our onboarding process. They go through what we call a boot camp, and it is weeks and weeks long. We train them on all the different things that they have to do so that by the time that they are either in front of the camera or doing their job that's behind the camera or writing an article, they have been trained extensively. It doesn't mean they're not going to get better, but they're given the tools. And these guys are willing to work hard, and they always seem to be working hard for us.
Yeah, and I think too that we tend to train them to do things even that might not be part of their title. It's just a little bit of, everybody's going to get producer training. Everybody's going to get trained to do a little bit of something. That way, in the worst case scenario, you're all right, you have some experience.
And not only that you have some experience, but then you understand what the other people at your job are going through. Sometimes, if you're doing job A, it's good to understand how job B operates.
Absolutely.
So that you too can have a proper expectation of the time demands, what can and cannot feasibly be done.
Yeah.
All that stuff matters.
Yeah, I mean, I think for myself, learning how to edit and learning a little bit how things work behind the camera has made me a stronger person in front of the camera because I'm okay, I can see the full product now in my head. Whereas when I first started, I was I don't really know how this has come together. So what if we do this? And then my videographer would be no. And I'd be
all right.
Oh, okay.
So give me the camera here. To Gen Z, learn how to be good on a phone.
Yes.
Pick up that skill, work on it. That should be something everybody can do. But for employers, everybody else out there, hey, how about you give your guys some training? You can't expect people to be 20 years experience on day one. You got to help them get to that point.
Yes.
So if you want to pay everybody nothing, you got to probably train them along the way to get them where you want them to be.
Yep, I think that's a great message for everybody. If you are that person in your office that is a good teacher, maybe share those skills a little bit. Try to boost up some of the younger coworkers that are just starting out. They need the guidance, and you should be happy to help them. Well, we've got more CoastLife to get to. Maybe you're looking around your house and you're thinking you could use a little furniture spruce up. Well, we've got just the place when we get back.